AJ Brown is back. We will react to Thursday night football and look ahead to the weekend right now on Fantasy Football Today in 5. Woo! What a game from AJ Brown, and what a start to the week. He goes for 11, 145, and 1 on only 16 targets out of 29 passes from Ryan Tannehill. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh, Chris?
Yeah, that offense was broke for a while, and it still kind of is. This wasn't actually a great game for the offense. A bit too much running when you have A.J. Brown. But no, all in all, this was very exciting to see A.J. Brown back and looking like A.J. Brown. Hope you started him. I pretty much tried to tell everybody who asked me before the game that they should. So hopefully they followed my instructions.
What do you think about D'Onta Foreman going forward, as he did get the touchdown, but really wasn't very good? And it was just a tough matchup. This run defense has been awesome for about 2 months now, but 9 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. And once again, splitting pretty well. I shouldn't say once again. He split pretty evenly with the other guys today, but the snaps are always pretty even. But what do you think of Foreman going forward?
Yeah, when they're ahead comfortably, I think he'll get a lot of work. But I don't think he's a particularly great player. And, tonight, fading D'Onta Foreman seemed like the right call tonight, just because their offensive line issues were so obvious, and the 49ers are a tough matchup. So if you started him, you got bailed out with the touchdown, kind of, but it was still a pretty bad game. Moving forward, I think he's an RB3. That's pretty much where I've ranked him consistently, and I think that'll continue.
Okay, they have Miami next week. It's another team that's been very good against the run. Enough about that game. I think it was a good game in the sense that Ayuk got you the touchdown. Foreman saved it with the touchdown.
But
and if you started him with the touchdown, Kittle unfortunately was.
That's the thing. There still seems to be potentially only room for 2 pass catchers in this offense.
Yeah,
so if Debo's going to be the lead guy like that, it makes it really hard.
Yeah, there was barely room for 2, because I'm pretty sure Ayuk caught his touchdown when Debo was off the field. Debo got hurt on that long 56-yard pass, and Ayuk only had 4 for 40. Unbelievable year for
Unbelievable player.
All right, so Dalvin Cook is out. Any hesitation at all with Madison? Madison with a tough matchup, and he has missed some time with COVID, and sometimes it's slowed people down. Any hesitation with Madison?
Absolutely. If you play in a league where you only start one running back and you have no flex and you have Jonathan Taylor, you probably shouldn't start Alexander Madison. He's my RB2 for the week. It's just the track record when Dalvin Cook's missed time. He's averaging 22.9 fantasy points per game in PPR scoring when Dalvin Cook's been out. And that's with 4 touchdowns in 5 games, which is a good number. But, you're talking about 25 touches a game. So it's not like he's scoring at an outrageous mark. He could have been even better. So, yeah, he's absolutely a must start.
We have too many injuries to even keep an eye on right now, but you should pick up the Dolphins DST if they're available, as it looks like Ian Book is going to start for the Saints at quarterback. And what do you make of this Cam Akers stuff? Cam Akers designated to return.
I would say it's very, very unlikely. That he makes an impact this week. And I think it's still unlikely he makes an impact in the regular season. We're talking about a guy who's still only, 5 months removed from Achilles surgery. This is pushing the very, very front edge of any possible timeline. And look, he was designated to return from IR on a Thursday. The chances of him playing, they play on Sunday. The chance of him playing on a Sunday with 1 day of practice seem incredibly unlikely. But if he's out there in any of your leagues, I think you got to add him just on the off chance that he maybe makes it back for week 17.
Yeah, and you can still put him in an IR spot for now.
Yes.
So that is Cam Akers. A couple other things to keep an eye on. The Ravens right now have 9 defensive players who are on the COVID list. Not all of them starters, but it's just making things look even better for Joe Burrow and Chase and Higgins and maybe even Mixon, although the defensive line looks relatively intact right now.
Yeah, but Mixon's been a full practice both days so far, so he looks like a full go.
And James Conner expects to play on Saturday. So if we'll see. Okay. If we take a look at the most activated players here, the players that were on the bench last week but are activated this week. So it's Ronald Jones, Antonio Brown, AJ Brown, Madison. I get that. Jalen Waddle. How do you feel about him? He is, obviously he missed last week, but do you think he's a slam dunk to get back in your lineup? I'm going to give you a bunch of names, so give me the quick analysis on Waddle.
Jalen Waddle is a top 12 wide receiver for me. He's so important to the RPOs that they run, that they really center their offense around, that I think he's got to be active.
Tyler Lockett and Russell Gage on the activated list.
Yeah, I think you're starting both. Tyler Lockett back from the COVID list. He's been really the only guy that Russell Wilson's had a connection to since his injury. And I don't know, man. Maybe he'll hurt you in week 16 and you'll be able to cry, oh no, Tyler Lockett again. But he's been too good to sit.
And last one is Terry McLaurin. You know, I understand people sat him for a reason last week, but do we have reason to start him this week against the Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, the one thing that you have to keep in mind with the Cowboys is they give up a ton of big plays. I believe they've allowed the second or first most plays of over 30 yards. I think it's them and the Ravens have allowed the most this season. So this is a good defense, especially for fantasy, but they are susceptible to the big play. And that's what Terry McLaurin's got to do. He's got to hit on a big play, but he's always got that potential. It's a low probability play, but he's in the boom or bust wide receiver 3 range where it seems like DK Metcalf and Gabriel Davis and a bunch of guys are this week.
All right, that's it for Fantasy Football Today in 5. Thanks very much. We will talk to you tomorrow with another episode. It'll be Jamie and me filling in. Jacob Gibbs will be out tomorrow. Happy holidays, everybody, and enjoy some Saturday football. If we don't talk to you before then, see you.